20th, 2025, and it's Easter, and it's our 10 a.m. service. We're greeting guests today. We have Laura on. Laura will be our speaker. Welcome. Susan and Yvette, as always. And
here in the sanctuary, we've got Shay, who's going to be playing our music today. And we've got Margaret. And Jerry's running the pit here. And we've got Bill. Hi, Bill. So, I guess we'll start off with Shay doing the prelude, which is Sing and Rejoice. Do we join you on this? Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Sing and rejoice, let all things living now sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice, let all things living now sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice, let all things living now sing and rejoice, sing and rejoice, let all things living now sing and rejoice.
Thank you, Shay. Jerry, we lost our screen completely. Boy, we're fraught with technical difficulties here. I think we need to roll away the stone.
It's long gone.
Long gone.
We can't even blame the stone.
Uh-huh. There we go. There's a picture now. Yeah.
All right.
We've got a picture now. So.
At the opening prayer?
Yes. So here we've got an opening prayer, and it's just a few phrases and excerpts from today's student lesson 110, which is I am as God created me is the title of it, but I just went to the back of it. And I'm going to say, you are as God created you. Today, honor yourself. Deep in your mind, the Holy Christ in you is waiting your acknowledgement as you. Seek him today and find him. We will remember him throughout the day with thankful hearts and loving thoughts for all who meet with us today. For it is thus that we remember him. And we will say that we may be reminded of his Son, our holy self, the Christ in each of us. I am as God created me. Let us declare this truth as often as we can. This is the word of God that sets you free. This is the key that opens up the gate of heaven and lets you enter in the peace of God and his eternity. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. And now we have another song by Shay, and it's called A Promise Through the Ages Rings.
A promise through the ages rings that always, always something sings, not just in May, in Finchfield Bower, but in December. Entombed within our deep despair, our pain seems more than we can bear. But days shall pass that nature knows, that deep beneath the winter snow, a rose lies curled and hums a song. For something always, always sings. This is the message Easter brings. From deep despair and perished things, a green shoot always, always springs. And something always, always sings.
Hey,
Thank you, Shay.
thanks, Shay.
All right. Now we have our reflection moment, and this was written by Midge, and we loved having her in our congregation. We welcome her anytime she wants to show up. Love produces a flow of energy that I now feel. I love others more than ever, and I feel privileged to be here. Love flows from one person to another as we create an atmosphere of holiness, and so it is. And now I have the spiritual reading for today, and it's from the Daily Stoic. It's from April 18th, actually. And I chose it today because it went with something that happened. The other morning I woke up, and I had a lot of different things on my mind, and I just couldn't get any rest from it, couldn't get any peace. And so, lo and behold, I decided to do what I've been trained to do. Amazing. And I decided to become the silent watcher. And I stepped back, and I was able to just observe myself having all of these thoughts and all of these things going through my head. And as I stood back and became the observer, I realized it is who I am. And in the present moment, that's who we become. We become who we really are. That's why it's so important, I think, that we stay in the present moment. But part of the problem was of that morning was that I have so many opinions, like all of us have, I'm sure. And that's the title of our devotion today. It's Opinions Are Like, what is bad luck? Opinion. What are conflict, dispute, blame, accusation, irreverence, and frivolity? They are all opinions, and more than that, they are opinions that lie outside of our own reasoned choice, presented as if they were good or evil. Let a person shift their opinions only to what belongs in the field of their own choice, and I guarantee that person will have peace of mind whatever is happening around them. And that is from Epictetus. Opinions. Everyone's got one. Think about all the opinions you have about whether today's weather is convenient, about what liberals and conservatives believe, about whether so-and-so's remark is rude or not, about whether you're successful or not, and on and on. We're constantly looking at the world around us and putting our opinion on top of it. Our opinion is often shaped by dogma, religious or cultural, entitlements, expectations, and in some cases, ignorance. No wonder we feel upset and angry so often. But what if we let these opinions go? Let's try weeding, cutting, or knocking out. There's a Greek word there. It's called ekoptine, cutting or knocking out. Let's try weeding these out of our lives so that things simply are, not good or bad, not colored with opinion or judgment, just are.
Thank you, Kate. Yes, just as another great book by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. That's where that comes from. Okay, next we have the song that This Is the Truth That Passes Understanding by Shay Johnson.
This is the truth that passes understanding. This is the joy to all forever free. Life leads to death and shatters every fetter, and winter turns to spring eternally. This is the truth that passes understanding. This is the joy to all forever free. Life springs from death and shatters every fetter, and winter turns to spring eternally.
Thank you, Shay.
Thank you, Shay. All right. And
Now we
Kate,
have
Kate is going to introduce.
our guest speaker this Sunday is Laura Fenamore, and she's speaking on acknowledge, accept, and allow all that is. After over 3 decades as a student of A Course in Miracles, Laura Fenamore continues to learn Course principles and engages in her daily practice of moving away from the experience of fear and anxiety to deeply embracing the truth of teach only love, for that is what we are. Laura volunteered for the Foundation for Inner Peace for many years before coming on staff full-time since 2019, and enjoys her role as the Chief Development Officer and Volunteer Coordinator. She loves celebrating the volunteers as well as connecting, thanking, and loving the global partnerships who support the Foundation for Inner Peace. And I'm just going to throw in there, they're celebrating their 50th year this year. I met Laura quite by accident, of course. We were at Fellowship of Spirits, and of course we know at Fellowship of Spirit there are no accidents. Everything happens for a reason, and there's no coincidences. In 2020, my husband Bob suffered a terminal aggressive cancer. It was the very day of his passing, I believe, when I shared with Laura about my loss in reply to an email she had sent, thanking me for my monthly donation to the the Foundation of Inner Peace. From that time on, she has shown me such love and support and such kindness. And Laura, I would like to take this time to tell you that I thank you, dear friend, and I love you so much. XOXO. Now, please welcome Laura Fenamore.
Oh boy, Katie. Likewise, likewise, likewise. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Thank you so much. So one of the things that I read every morning is that I ask that I may serve as many of my fellow beings as possible in whatever grace wants. It's easy to navigate this, and God, you know my intentions. I trust in grace, and I surrender it to the divine. So good morning, my dear friends. What a joy and honor to be with you all on this sacred day. And A Course in Miracles represents not just an event from the past, but a present and living intention into truth. So today I invite you to enter a space of remembering what is eternal, what is changeless, and what is true about you. And as we do this together, let's be willing to gently release what is false, what is heavy, and what no longer serves. A Course in Miracles teaches us that on this holy day, the resurrection represents the rebirth and the reminder that we are not bodies, we are free. Before we get deeper into my talk, I want to share with you how I found this delightful community. And even though Katie just mentioned it, I want to share from my experience. Then I'm going to share how I found A Course in Miracles, and I'll be sharing a little bit about my past. I'm always looking for things to laugh about. And one thing that's funny to me is that I picked this day not knowing that it was Easter Day. And when Easter for most of my childhood and into adulthood was a fear day, all holidays were scary for me as a kid growing up. And thankfully, that's no longer the case. So one memory that I hold in my heart was my first conversation with Katie Bryan. And I will say that, Katie, before you told me about Bob's passing, you and I had a very, very long conversation. I remember it like it was yesterday because I remember exactly where I was. Oftentimes, you and I will talk when I'm taking a walk, and I was walking up and down these stairs. And it's true, I've been part of this organization for over 30 years, and I've been in this position. I'm in year 7, and I talk to a lot of people, and I meet a lot of people. And it's not that some people are more holy, special or than others, but certainly I have a connection with Katie that is unique and wonderful and powerful. And it's also been wonderful to meet Steve and to be part of this. So it's just an honor to be here. So I am going to share a little bit about me, which leads into how I found A Course in Miracles. I'm the youngest of 8 children from an Italian Catholic background. I was born into a violent, traumatic, and terrifying family life on Long Island in New York. My father was an undiagnosed, unmedicated, mentally ill person who terrorized my mom and our family. In fact, going back to my terror of this holiday, my father's favorite thing to say at the dinner table was, "I'm going to crucify you kids like Christ was crucified. You all need to be crucified." I mean, he would tell us that every day. That was one of his favorite things to say. And in fact, his father, my grandfather, who was a very violent person too, used to tie the kids up and whip them and beat them. So like Christ, it was sort of that same, horrible, painful ritual. So, I would just look at the crucifixion and I would look at crosses and I would scream and cry. I was so terrified that I would be up there next. We went to church every week, and I always loved the idea of God loving me. And I just loved the idea of God. I just didn't understand how God could be so good and put me in this terror. However, I did pray every night before bed, and I prayed for things outside of myself. And today I believe that God is not separate from me. By the time I was 11, I was removed from my home after my father nearly killed one of my sisters. Leaving home at 11 for foster care continued my survival story. From infancy, food became my comfort, my lifeline, and my addiction because it filled the terror that lurked inside of me. And by 4th grade, I was in an obesity clinic. Fast forward many foster homes later, having been ripped away from my siblings and mom at age 11. At 24, I was addicted to alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, bulimia. I hated my body. I hated myself. And I believed I was broken, unlovable, and way beyond repair. My identity was rooted in victimhood, though. I wore my pain like a badge of honor. I was spiraling and planning my exit from this life. And one day something shifted, a miracle moment. I met someone and she told me that she would love me until I learned to love myself. And she invited me to an AA meeting. That was the beginning of my healing. That one person had an enormous impact on my life. And it taught me what's possible with just one person who loves and believes in you. With support, I got clean and sober. I released 100 pounds. And the real healing began when I turned inward and realized I didn't need to turn off my hunger for love. I needed to turn it into self-love. Through years of inner work, I've come to understand the power of forgiveness, not just of others, but of myself. A Course in Miracles came into my life after years of asking God for help after I got into recovery. You see, I was able to stay sober, and yet I was unwilling to forgive my past. I was still so incredibly resentful of my mom for staying with my father and my father for being crazy, and I just kept playing that story over and over and over again. Someone suggested that I go to another meeting with another blue book. And when I got there, I heard that this book taught about forgiveness. And I burst into tears and I knew I was home. That was when I was in my late 20s, and now I'm just about 62. So all these decades later, I believe that the Course is my path. And that doesn't mean that I don't believe in other metaphysical things. I just know that for me, the Course taught me that forgiveness is the key to happiness, and that our grievances bind us to the past, just like Katie was talking about in the beginning of our opinions and how that leads us really to hell. I had tied myself to the tree of my father's abuse, my mother's absence, and all the stories that defined me as unworthy. I had to forgive my father. I had to forgive my mother. But most of all, I had to forgive myself for believing it was unlovable, for believing I was unlovable, for abandoning myself again and again. I'm also a very emotional person, and I'm just going to be really authentic. I lost my mom this past July, and I wanted to dedicate this to her because not only did I forgive her, but I've realized that she was an amazing force of truth in my life, and I'm still grieving her loss. So probably tears will come up, but they're tears of joy. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's remembering with love instead of fear. And going deeper with the coursework, it teaches us that none of this ever happened. This dream world is a setup to show us that we are all one and that everything that happens, its purpose is rooted to remembering who we are in truth. So I often say that you just need a little willingness and Holy Spirit will take over. Willingness to let go, to stop proving how broken you are, and to start believing in your own rebirth. Acknowledge, accept, and allow all that is came for me after realizing that I'm not a victim of the world that I see. I not only found the Course back in the late 80s, but I also fell in love with the teaching and felt guided to reach out to the Foundation for Inner Peace. So over 30 years later, as Katie said, I work on staff at the foundation, and it's just been a true miracle to be part of this organization. And it's just given me a tremendous amount of, growth. And, I don't know if there's going to be time for questions or anything at the end, but certainly Jerry and Katie and Steve, if anyone has any questions about the Foundation for Inner Peace or wants to talk to me about it, I'm happy to talk to you, and they all know how to reach me. So in A Course in Miracles, which actually Katie mentioned turns 50 this year, it was published in 1975, born in New York that same year, and actually that was the year that one of my brothers passed. 50 years ago, too. For those of you who are live or listening who may not be familiar with A Course in Miracles, it was channeled by a professor of medical psychology at Columbia University. Her name was Helen Schuckman, and she did it over a period of 10 years. She heard the voice and her colleague, Bill Thetford, and they secretly put it down on paper. I mean, I just can't even begin to imagine, even after all these years, how radical it was that they were taking this down, working at a prestigious, Ivy League school like Columbia. And, spirituality and science, we know that they're intertwined, but it wasn't exactly a welcomed conversation back in those days. So the voice identified itself as Jesus. And it is a spiritual self-study course. There is no one teacher. We're all teachers of God, and there's no one leader. The course's purpose is to help us move past fear and rediscover love, which the course teaches is our natural state. That might sound simple, but it's actually a complete shift in how most of us experience this world of form. In A Course in Miracles, Jesus represents the divine, eternal, and changeless spiritual self that all beings share. The Course rejects the notion that Jesus is fundamentally different from any other people. Jesus is presented as a teacher who demonstrates the way to remember God and experience the divine self. Jesus tells us in the Course that the resurrection is the final demonstration that spirit cannot be killed, truth cannot be threatened, and illusion has no power. In the introduction of A Course in Miracles, Jesus says, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. I recently had the honor to meet Eckhart Tolle, who taught the Course for many years. And he says, if you master these lines, you understand the Course. So on Easter, we're asked to dwell on the crucifixion. Jesus says clearly in the Course, the message of the crucifixion is perfectly clear. Teach only love, for that is what you are. The resurrection is the triumph, not of the body over death, but of spirit over illusion. So I just want to take a moment and to remind us all that we are not a body. We are free. We are not defined by our past. We are not held hostage by guilt. We are never alone. We are, in truth, the light of the world, each and every one of us. The Course teaches us and invites us to forgive, and not only forgive, but to forget. In the Course, Jesus teaches us that forgiveness is not about excusing behavior, but seeing through it, beyond it, to what it really is, to what is really there. Forgiveness recognizes what you thought your brother did to you has not occurred. And this is radical. It's really radical because it's hard to think that we're not really here and that we are, this all is an imagined experience. And yet it's true. It's actually very freeing for me. Forgiveness in A Course in Miracles is the undoing of false perception. And when we truly forgive, we do forget, not in the sense of amnesia, but in the sense of letting go of the belief that we were harmed or could harm anyone. Easter tells us, let the past go, let judgment go, let the need and to understand every detail go. Instead, remember this, you are innocent and so is everyone else. The resurrection is the language of the Course, is the culmination of the atonement. Atonement is not punishment. It is not sacrifice. It is reconciliation, the return to awareness of our oneness with God. Jesus says the atonement is the final lesson he need learn, for it teaches him that never having sinned, he has no need of salvation. Easter then is the reminder that we are already home. The door to heaven was never closed. It was only forgotten. To accept the atonement is to say yes to remembering who we truly are. I have a group of volunteers at the Foundation for Inner Peace, and we meet every Friday at noon Pacific, and I call us the Symphony of Love. And one of the things that I shared on Friday was that I rejected this course. Like I first fell in love with it. I read every page and I was like, oh my God, this is taking me home. And I'm so grateful that I finally found a path. But I also secretly, and I would never admit this to anyone, including anyone at the foundation, was like, I can't accept this course because it's asking me to believe that this isn't real. I mean, it's like I couldn't understand that concept. And I also couldn't understand the concept really, truly, that we were, guilt-free. And it just took a long time and a lot of practice to even, be willing to understand that notion. So it took a while, but I was so committed to heaven on earth and to freedom that I was totally willing. Like, okay, I don't understand this. I don't believe this, but I'm just going to keep going. And I still don't sometimes, but I still know, I know truth. And I know that God is love and that I am love and that we're all love, regardless of our different opinions. So the resurrection is light dissolving darkness, not by fighting it, rather than by shining through it. Darkness has no power of its own. It disappears the moment we turn on the light. Lesson 109 says, there is no suffering it cannot heal. There is no problem it cannot solve. Again, the message of Easter is, you're not broken. You're not too far gone. There is no shadow in you that the light of God cannot reach. And you do not need to struggle your way to God. You need only rest in God. And speaking of resting in God, it was my lesson yesterday, which is just perfect. Lesson 109 is I rest in God. And the lesson for the day that Jesus was resting in the tomb, for those of us who believe that story, whatever you believe, I rest in God means that this thought has power to wake the sleeping truth in you. It will carry you through storms and strife, past misery and pain, past loss and death, and onward to the certainty of God. Resting in God is not passive. It is powerful. To rest in God is to step out of the illusion of effort and into the experience of grace. It is to trust that everything you need is already given, that love is your natural state, that peace is already yours. Let this be your resurrection practice. Even just for 5 minutes every day, say, I rest in God. So I'm just going to invite us all to take a moment and to close our eyes for a guided meditation. This is meant to open our hearts. So just gently closing your eyes and relax your shoulders and your hands. And if you feel like it, put your hand on your heart and just thank your heart for beating. And just take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. I'm just going to invite us all to breathe as deeply as we can and just let it go. Letting your body soften, your shoulders release. Allow your jaw to relax. And just allow any thoughts, any feelings, any emotions to just go by like clouds in the sky. And relax your mind, being present in this moment right here, right now. Because that is all that matters, this moment. And in the quiet of your heart, let this thought settle in. I rest in God. There's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to fix. Here in this moment, you are safe. You are loved. You are held and you are whole. Just feel yourself stepping out of the busyness of the world, out of fear, effort, judgment, and into this sacred, holy, safe space that is always present, that never leaves us. This is the holy sanctuary of your mind, where truth dwells, where the light has always been and never leaves us. And here, the voice of God whispers, "You are my beloved child, in whom I am well pleased. I love you." Let that surround you and every cell in your body. Let it dissolve every problem, every burden, and breathe in this love, breathe in this peace, breathe in this light. And now imagine those you love, those you struggle with, those you fear, each one entering this resting place with you. See them softening, see them radiant and whole. See them as the light of the world. You say silently to each one, "Come rest with me in God. We are one and we are safe." This is your resurrection. This is your release. This is your joy. Just breathe into that. And just one more time, say silently to yourself, "I rest in God and I rise in love." And I'm just going to invite us all to 5 deep, self-loving breaths. And when you're ready, gently bring your attention back into the room. Feel your feet on the ground, your body supported, your breath steady and soft. And as you open your eyes, carry this peace with you. Let it guide your actions, your thoughts today. And know you are resurrected, and in every moment that you choose love over fear. Every moment that you choose love over fear, it is a resurrection. I'm just going to invite us all to let the truth rise in you like the Easter morning sun, whether it was sunny or not. The resurrection is the symbol of joy. God's Son is free. And let the thought drop into your heart. I rest in God. I am the light of the world. The past is over. It can touch me not. This is my resurrection. Amen. And I asked Holy Spirit, what is it that you want me to leave this congregation with? And these questions came through, which I can pass on for you to ponder on and think about. What would it look like to live your resurrection today? What are you ready to let go of, not just in thought, in trust? Can you allow yourself to forget the wounds and remember the Christ you are? And can you rest in God, not just in quiet moments, but in traffic, in chaos, in uncertainty? And can you rest to others, saying silently, come rest here with me? Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everyone.
Laura.
That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. I've sat through such a meditation before.
I just wanted to say I wanted to thank you for sharing your journey with us, a little bit of it, Laura. Thank you so much. And I wanted to, so we get a lot of knowledge, we read a lot of books, we read a lot of what we're supposed to do and what have you, but experiences is what we're supposed to be, that's what we reach for. And I had then a wonderful experience of letting my brother go one day. Something came up, and I got these strong opinions about things, and my way is usually right, what have you. But I had the experience of saying, wait a minute, they've done nothing wrong. And in that very moment, I felt more free than I have ever felt inside myself before. So it's amazing how we want what we want for others, we will get for ourselves. So thank you again, Laura.
Oh, thank you, Katie and Steve. That was so wonderful. I appreciate your share just now. It's true. It's like we hold on and hold on and hold on and hold on, and we're the only ones that are suffering. Yeah. I mean, I'm there with you, sister. I that's why I'm practicing this every day, because I know I do know the difference, though. I know that I cause my own suffering, and that there's an option always, always, always. It's not like there's not freedom at the end of our practice of forgiveness. There's always freedom. And since we're only one mind, we're freeing everyone. Every time we choose forgiveness and love over fear, we're supporting the sonship. We're supporting each and every one of us. So think of it as service. For those of us that are caretakers, we're always serving every time we practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We all have a purpose. So
That was wonderful. I mean, we started out this morning with lesson 110, Kate and I did, and we've been practicing this for most of a good part of a year so far, having a daily reading early in the morning. And today it just, I don't know, it's worked so well, and it worked with our book reading today, which is The Direct Way.
The Direct Way.
Yes.
D. Macaulay.
Which is a story about Course in Miracles. And I just can't believe the synchronicity of it. I feel so blessed. And you topping it off, Laura, is wonderful. And now I'm going to open up the mic to anybody that would like to ask a question or speak to Laura. Do we have anybody?
Ready? Okay.
We're all just too overtaken.
That's all good.
I see tears out there.
All right.
Mm.
So we have a song from Shay. It's When the Daffodils Arrive.
When the daffodils arrive in the Easter of the year, and the spirit starts to thrive, let the heart be loud and clear. When the pussy willows bloom in the greening of the year, let the heart find loving room to spread their welcome far and near. When the sweet rain showers come in the greening of the year, birds will sing and bees will hum. Alleluia, time is here.
Thank you, Shay. Thank you.
Now we have our celebration of abundance, and our affirmation goes with that. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive through infinity. I am prosperous. Do you want to give the plate?
Jerry is being our usher today.
Our children are celebrating Easter at home with their families.
They're looking for Easter eggs, so,
Yes.
and that's a good place for them to be.
Right. And Jerry, do you have announcements? Would you? Okay, so we're having a yard sale, May 2nd and 3rd at the church. Do you want me to announce it? We will have a yard sale the first Friday and Saturday in May at the church. Whatever you would like to donate to the yard sale, keep it at home until an announcement is made about when you can bring it to fellowship. Or call Jerry. And I think that's about it.
We have our solstice celebration.
We do have a
coming up.
solstice celebration in June, right? June
June
21st?
20th.
20th.
Right, and that'll be at
Kiwanis. right?
Kiwanis
Or
Park.
Civitan. Which is Civitan?
Okay, so it's going to be at Civitan? Kiwanis, okay, that was right the first time.
Okay. And now we have Bill.
And now, yes, we have our own bill. Come on forward.
Good morning, everyone. The topic today is quiet. You'll never be afraid to sit a while and think. Lorraine Hansbane. Hustle and bustle are part of our lives. We live with constant background noise. The sounds of human activity on the one hand, cars, aircraft, heavy machinery, music players, and the sounds of the natural wonders of the world, birds, insects, and thunder. We rarely get a chance to experience quiet, and when we do, we often behave as if we're afraid of it. No one home, we turn on the TV. A few moments in the car, search for something on the radio. Going for a walk, plug in the earphones and listen to music. Once in a while, we need to embrace silence. Quiet is a luxury that costs me nothing. I can take a few moments each day and simply sit and think without the need for any foreground or background noise. Also, if you can shut down that little guy in the head,
There you go.
life can be so much easier. God bless and everybody have a great week.
Thank you, Bill, and bless you. And I'm finding that silence is even most enjoyable with another person. Here's my other person.
Thanks for hosting with me today, Steve.
Yes, I
Been a
hope you all
pleasure.
liked it. We enjoyed it.
Now we'll circle up the wagons and
Okay, one
say
more
our
word
song.
to Laura. Laura,
Oh.
we sure enjoyed having you here, and we hope that you stay involved with us. We shall do our best to keep you. Yes.
Thank you so much. I really look forward to coming there and visiting you guys one day. I really would love that.
That'd be great.
I know.
Have deluxe accommodations for you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to circle up and do our sing.
Do you turn off the recording or do you turn off the recording?
There's no need to.
Circle the wagon here, huh?
Circle the table. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's
We
fun.
enjoyed it. So,
1, 2, 3.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Weave us together. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together. Weave us together in unity and yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, family all are we. So let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, God bless us all.
Have a blessed week.
Yes,
Yes.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Bye, Laura. God
Mhm.
bless.
Very good.
Thank you.
Just keep working through it.
God bless.
Yeah, we will.
Yes,
We
we
will.
will.
It's a fun note.
Great.
We had fun, didn't we?
We did have fun. It's
Yeah,
fun.
we actually rehearsed it a little bit.